Metaphor Refantazio, the somewhat British JRPG I didn't know I needed. Welcome to the United Kingdom of Uchronia, a medieval fantasy realm that consists of 8 races known as tribes. Racism and discrimination is rife across the nation despite the king's calls for unity, mostly focused on the more furry-based tribes of the nation. Then, one day the king was assassinated in his bed by our posh English pretty boy villain, Luis. The prince, the next in line to the throne, who is thought to be dead by the masses, is actually stricken down with a curse, also from our little pretty boy Luis, and he's hidden in a village far, far away. This is when our story begins. We join Will, our orphaned heterochromia LDR anime protagonist. Together with his fairy sidekick Gallica, they're on a journey to cure the prince and to take his rightful place as leader of Uchronia. Our first step is to infiltrate the military and meet our undercover contact, Grius. After we're accepted into the military...
An orphan too! The army can always use more of those.
Our first real challenge occurs. We must queue. Oh, how very civilised and British. However, an uncivilised Rousant rudely tries to break the sacred ritual of the queue. We're introduced to our first friend, Stroll, a young noble of the Clamar tribe. Disaster strikes. Men are screaming, and we catch the first glimpse of the monsters of this world.
Human.
To save our comrades, we're thrust into battle, and one of our first enemies is a rotten tooth. Oh, come on, Japan, is that what you really think of us? Combat in Metaphor is primarily turn-based using the press turn system. By striking an enemy's weakness, you're rewarded an extra turn, but you can also lose turns if attacks are missed or blocked. These rules are also in effect for the enemies, so you gotta be careful if you get ambushed. Each character will have an equipped archetype, to allow different playstyles and strategies during battle. There are 46 different archetypes in the game that can be used by any character, so you can switch each character's class and not be locked into a certain playstyle. To unlock these archetypes, you'll need to create bonds with the game's characters and increase your relationships throughout the story to unlock ever more powerful archetypes to take on the game's dungeons and humans. In typical JRPG fashion, it took a while for the real mission to begin. The assassinated king appears in the sky above the nation, announcing a tournament for the throne.
So, contestants, are you ready?
The person with the most support from the people will be crowned the king. We're going on an adventure, which is kind of a political trail, in a gauntlet runner, which is basically a funky steampunk tour bus, making friends and righting wrongs to hopefully save the kingdom from the leadership of the Kingslayer or the church. We'll not talk too much about the church in this video. Why is Metaphor my game of the year? I fell in love with the characters, their story, their adventure. We've got Hulkenberg, the goofy goober. Stroll, the boy who's more than his noble house. Nuris, our eccentric designated driver. Haizme, the battle-hardened outcast, who's a little bit of a racist grandpa. And we have Maria, the child that we must protect at all costs. The story isn't Shakespeare, but the journey and character camaraderie was just the thing I was looking for. It doesn't have AAA graphics, but its art direction more than makes up for that. The music is unique with a rapping monk that really grew on me.
Music was the first magic this world ever knew after all. Makes the road a little easier.
The hybrid combat system with being able to fight enemies in the overworld that you're stronger than rather than 100% turn-based, mixing that with the time management of stat boosting and relationship building helps the game from becoming repetitive and stale over its 70-hour playtime. The English voice acting of this game was phenomenal.
My name is Leon Stroll de Haliatus. My home and my family were taken from me. I am the last of my house. I am the last of my noble bloodline. And in the name of my people, I will strike you down where you stand!
I wish I could go back and experience it all again, but I can't, so I implore you to download the 5+ hour demo and let's see if it'll be your game of the year next year. I have been Kilty, the Kilty Kitty. I'll see you in the next one.